Apparently, the channel has taken a very interesting, detour in the last few days, and it's one that I welcome because the conversations are important. I've noticed that there's a faction of fans that really do like exclusivity. It doesn't matter where they're from. They're on either on the PlayStation side or on the Xbox side. Now, I can maybe see why they, think exclusivity is important in some kind of way, but what's also interesting is the last few days I watched, it was just yesterday actually, I watched two YouTube videos made by two YouTubers. One of them, they titled their video The Death of Xbox. The other one titled their video Report, Xbox got destroyed or something. It's not even close, blah, blah, blah. Belular News and another person named Bond. Those are the YouTubers. So shout out to them. You can go watch their videos and such. Now, when I was watching Belular News, he had some data to cite according to some things, but he went ahead and cited Chris Dring's off-the-cuff statement about Game Pass basically cannibalizing at least 80% of game sales, which Chris Dring said was just a number that was being thrown around, not an official source, and did not say that it was a case-by-case thing, because if you remember, Matt Piscatella, having brought the data for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, pretty much showed that there was no cannibalization. And some games like Stalker 2, some games like Lies of P, yes, they may have been cannibalized in quote, but those games still sold well, even beating their counterparts in some cases that were exclusive, like Stellar Blade. This is the problem that we have. A lot of these folk will criticize Xbox about something, but because the gaming industry is so broad, it's almost like the same thing is repeating itself in the PlayStation land, and they never talk about it. So I think deep down inside, there is a disdain for Xbox that a lot of people don't even know that they're expressing. This other gentleman said something along the lines of Xbox, making 10 years of bad decisions and all of this stuff, and they haven't had an exclusive in 10 years. And I laughed and I said, if Xbox hadn't gone out of exclusivity, you wouldn't even have an Xbox to criticize. I feel like they would have probably maybe had to go out of business. But they were committed in keeping gaming alive, so they were flexible enough to not lie to themselves that this Xbox One generation is basically going to decimate us if we don't make amends. So what did they do? They went to PC. This Bond individual also said that the reason that they didn't have exclusives is because their people don't buy games. Yet, I see PlayStation in the same boat, and Shuhei Yoshida, their own executive, telling them that they should buy their remasters and their remakes. Why is it that whatever is good for the goose is not good for the gander? There's an old saying. Why is it that in the case of Xbox, something that Xbox is doing bad and PlayStation is also doing bad can never be ever weighed in the exact same, light? Could it be that these folk have somewhere deep down inside, I don't know what it is. I think they're upset. I don't know if they're mad. I don't know if something happened, that they look at Xbox every single time and they throw Xbox under the bus, and they're not looking at PlayStation. PlayStation right now has no exclusives. Everybody that keeps saying Xbox has no exclusives, I'm always trying to read the statement to see them say, Xbox doesn't have any exclusives, and neither does PlayStation. But no, it never ever gets there. In their mind, Xbox is dead because it has no exclusives, while I am here, somebody who plays on PlayStation whenever I feel like it. And then I play on PC. And when I look around, I'm like, dude, I have access to PlayStation games on PC. They say things like Xbox is third party. And I'm like, yes. And I also have access to PlayStation games on PC, not just on Steam. I have it on Epic Games. I have access to it on Epic Games if I want it there. And in some cases, Good Old Games. Their games are no longer locked down to their platform like Nintendo's games are. So it might be that a lot of folk need to get their minds right and actually understand that the entire ship is switching. And a lot of these folk, they jump to PC gaming and say, well, if y'all don't have exclusives, there's no reason for me to buy your box. So I'm going to go ahead and get a gaming PC. Like, what are you proving? If you really did like the box, why not stay in the box? Perhaps you have a gaming PC because you're not satisfied with more than exclusivity that the box is so-called maybe trying to draw your attention to. So exclusivity is a farce. It's a ruse. That's all it's been. It's just been something to make some people feel warm and sleep at night. Because we've made multiple videos and people have made 300 comments, 300 million comments, whatever the heck it is. And there's never been an official announcement that Gears of War or Halo or even Starfield are going to PlayStation. It's just a rumor so far. And you should see how people are reeling about it. Isn't that crazy? This footage of Ghost of Tsushima that you have right here in front of you, right, was when I played it on the PlayStation 4. There is no reason why I would think that PlayStation has exclusivity when I now have access to the exact same game on PC via Steam. The reason I haven't even bought it on PC is like, man, I wish I could take my saves, with me, but I don't think PlayStation is at that point yet. So there is no exclusivity for Xbox and PlayStation anymore. Both of them are going through the exact same business pressures. Well, in the case of PlayStation right now, they're going through the business pressure that Xbox saw back in the Xbox One days. However, the pressure is not really created by Xbox. It's created by the market. Totally by the market. In the case of, and PC, by the way, as well, too. In the case of Xbox, most of it was created by PlayStation. Basically taking, dog-eat-dog tactics against Xbox, blocking games from going to their ecosystem. Xbox also caused some of it too by not emphasizing games as their main objectives. So if these people cannot admit to you that somewhere, somehow, that the market is shifting and Xbox's own ideas and Xbox's own stance has basically saved them from, straight up bankruptcy, then I strongly believe that they just simply do not like the platform nor want it to exist. It's just that simple. I can't make any other conclusion in good faith because I can't see them actually weighing the market from an objective perspective. They're not looking at both. They're not looking at the factors coming, across. They're not looking at how the live service industry has pretty much come in here to eat away from time and attention. They're not looking at the changes in social media. When Michael Ball did that report, that big 200-page report that he put on his Twitter, and we got to see pretty much the different factors in the market, none of these folk want to consider that. They want to sit here and talk console sales, but many of them are not considering that the reason you have dedicated studios making PC ports is simply because console sales are not pushing they're not pushing the numbers. Console sales isn't making anything happen. Nothing. So, at the end of the day, I don't see where any value is gained from the things that these folk are saying. For me, anyways. Now, maybe for you, there may be something valuable. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, like, if you're not going to sit there and, give us a good view of the gaming industry, other than talk about exclusives or talk about your hatred for one platform, it's interesting. Anyways, I don't know. Talk to me in the comment section. Peace out.